Alright guys, so the Green Bay Packers have decided to make a pretty expected roster change ahead of the new league year start and the start of free agency, and that is planning to cut a starting defender. That is none other than De'Vondre Campbell. The Packers are set to release De'Vondre Campbell at the start of the new league year, which is this coming Wednesday, technically also the start of free agency. Now, I know legal tampering does start on Monday, but this will allow the Green Bay Packers to designate his release as a post-June 1st designated release, which we'll go over exactly what that means, and also what that means for the Green Bay Packers salary cap, roster implications in terms of the inside linebacker room, which is pretty light right about now. But if you were a viewer to this channel for the past, I'd say, month or so, at least in all my mock drafts and anything else we were talking about inside linebacker, such as the inside linebacker free agent video, you know, I was pretty confident that De'Vondre Campbell was going to be released due to the salary he was set to make in 2024 based on the production we were getting out of him. Not only the production when he was on the field, but the lack of being able to be on the field was a problem for De'Vondre Campbell, and I thought going into this new defense with Jeff Hafley, they're going to want to just simply go younger and cheaper, right? Quay Walker still on a rookie deal, Isaiah McDuffie still on a rookie deal, Eric Wilson is a veteran they'll probably bring back, which we also have some news on that in this video today. Some of the free agents that the Packers are set to have, some of them they are interested in bringing back, which we'll get into. Now, outside of that, that's really their entire inside linebacker room. I think Christian Welch is under contract, so expect the Packers to be active for inside linebacker through, of course, the draft, but also free agency. I did release a video, like I said, going over some inside linebacker options at free agency, if you do want to go check that out. That was under the pretense that I thought De'Vondre Campbell was going to be released, and now he is set to be released. So again, for me, this isn't much of a shock. I'm sure there's some people out there that are going to be shocked that this happened, just because, you know, he's a starter on defense, he's a team leader per se. But in terms of how the money went and the production, or the lack thereof production more so, we are getting from De'Vondre Campbell, this just makes sense. Also, guys, I wanted to remind you that thank you to Sleeper. I'm still giving away this signed Christian Watson home Packers jersey here. Again, this is thank you to Sleeper, who is the sponsor of today's video. And right now on Sleeper, using the link down in the description or code BAS, B-A-S, you can get a first-time deposit match up to $500. On Sleeper, you can win up to 100x payouts. You can place in-game contests. There's a ton of different stat categories to place said contests on, such as points, rebounds, double-doubles, first quarter points, blocks plus steals. That's, of course, as of right now, as basketball is going on. And, of course, this will include NFL when that does start. Entries can be made in 30 seconds or less. It's really that easy. So, again, with the link down in the description and using code BAS, B-A-S, at sign up, once you make a first-time deposit, that will be matched 100% up to $500. And as I mentioned, I'm giving away this signed Christian Watson jersey here. Really nice jersey. You could frame it up on your wall like some of the ones behind me. Thank you to Sleeper. And the way you enter in that is go download Sleeper, sign up using my code BAS, B-A-S, and make a first-time deposit. Of course, that deposit will get matched, and you'll be entered in this giveaway. The winner will be announced on April 1st. Again, thank you to Sleeper for sponsoring this video. This news was released by Tom Silverstein, and as you see the headline of the article, Packers will create $10.5 million of salary cap space with the release of inside linebacker De'Vondre Campbell on Wednesday. So again, this has to happen Wednesday officially due to the new league year start, where they can then designate De'Vondre Campbell as a post-June 1st cut, which will net the Packers more cap space, which now we'll dive into. So if I bring up the screen here and we look at this cap calculator, this is basically what I use to kind of rebuild the Packers salary cap. So we're going to go ahead and make this move on here to kind of show you guys where it puts the Packers at salary cap wise. You know, right now, as it sits, because technically De'Vondre Campbell hasn't been released yet, the Packers have $13.6 million in cap space. Now, there's still some moves they can make. They have yet to touch Bakhtiari's contract, which it's mentioned in this article, and something interesting is said with that, which I will go over. Kenny Clark, Jair, and Aaron Jones, even Elton Jenkins. Elton Jenkins could be restructured. They still have to deal with Aaron Jones' deal. There's been rumors that they want him to take a pay cut again. And then Jair and Kenny Clark, they could be be restructured as well. So the Packers can still clear even more money, but obviously this video is about Devondre Campbell because that is a certainty right now that he is being cut. And as you see here, we're selecting post-June 1st, which if you go ahead and do that, it would incur $3.6 million dead and that $10.5 million cap savings, as it said in the article. So once the Packers cut Devondre Campbell on Wednesday with a post-June 1st designation, his cap hit for 2024 will only be $3.6 million, so that's the only amount of dead money they're taking for the season, and then their cap space for the season jumps up to $24.2 million. Now, of course, legal tampering is open Monday, but they obviously can't officially sign the free agents until Wednesday. So they can still agree with free agents on Monday to a deal that's set in place based on the premise of what they're going to have Wednesday. Based on they know they're cutting Devondre Campbell, they know they're going to gain $10.5 million there, so they're going to have more money when Wednesday comes, when they can officially sign these free agents. That's if the Packers go and make a big splash type of signing on Monday or Tuesday in legal tampering with someone like Xavier McKinney. Also, in this article, it mentions a couple of free agents that are impending free agents for the Green Bay Packers, and it states here they have several of their own free agents that they want to re-sign. So this is a report in my eyes that the Packers are interested in bringing these players back, right? Not every free agent they're going to bring back, or they have interest in bringing back, such as cornerback/returner Keyshawn Nixon, linebacker Eric Wilson, and tight end Tyler Davis. So it seems very apparent the Packers want Keyshawn Nixon back in the building. Eric Wilson coming back makes sense. He's an inside linebacker who they're cutting another one of. He's a great special teamer. And the same thing for Tyler Davis. He was kind of forgotten about after that torn ACL. Not that you want him as a backup tight end because he's not that great at tight end, but he is a tremendous special teamer. Also, this tweet on Twitter says, I can say this for a record, Keyshawn Nixon wants to return to the Packers. He credits them for personal and professional growth. So it seems like Keyshawn Nixon's completely on board. Of course, if that number's right, I definitely expect this deal to get done soon. Now, here's another very interesting snippet in this article. Their article goes over Devondre Campbell and, of course, that great 2021 season, and then the injury-riddled or lack of production in 2022, 2023, and now what led up to his release. But it also mentions not only certain free agents the Packers want to bring back, but it talks a little bit about David Bakhtiari, and I want you guys to pay attention to the wording here. The Packers are planning to create more cap space through a move of some type with left tackle David Bakhtiari's $40 million cap number. But there's no hurry because no roster bonus is due. Release would seem likely, but maybe he wants to stay and a large cut is negotiated. It's also a possibility he decides he doesn't want to play anymore and retires. I don't believe that's a possibility. Bakhtiari's gone on record multiple times saying he doesn't plan on retiring. But it's interesting that Tom Silverstein wrote this in here saying, you know, maybe if he wants to stay, then he'll take a large pay cut. So maybe that's something that's being negotiated right now. Personally, that's about the only way I could see Bakhtiari staying on this roster is if he goes ahead and says, hey, I'll take a large pay cut because I haven't been able to play and you guys have been paying me this money and money and money after year after year after year and I've barely been playing. But who knows if Bakhtiari is going to do that. He doesn't have to do that. He could simply sit back and collect this money. You know, the Packers signed him to that contract. It's no one's fault, really. You know, injuries happen. It's an accident. But, you know, it's obviously a tough situation, and we've been dealing with it for, 3 years now. But I did find it very interesting that in that article it went over that and then kind of mentioned towards a David Bakhtiari pay cut. So be on the lookout for maybe something of that sort. Again, I don't see them touching Bakhtiari's deal unless it's something like a pay cut or a restructure where he agrees to void years until he's healthy, because I don't think he can be cut or traded until that fact, and that's simply not going to happen. The Packers are going to clear cap other ways, like Devondre Campbell and other restructures, in order to do what they want this offseason. Which, luckily, they have some of that leeway with some of these players. Like, they don't have to touch the David Bakhtiari contract in order to do other things they want. Yeah, it would be great to clear another $20.5 million, and they could really go out this free agency and sign some quality players. They're still going to be able to. They could definitely go out and sign Xavier McKinney and maybe someone else as well. We'll just see what's going to happen on tomorrow when legal tampering opens. But at the end of the day, now the Packers are very obviously going to be looking for another inside linebacker. I think they're very comfortable with Quay Walker. I think they're even very comfortable with Isaiah McDuffie now being under Jeff Hafley, his former coach there at Boston College. But the Packers are going to need more linebackers. And even if those two guys are starting, they're going to need more in this 4-3 scheme. Yeah, they're not going to run base much with three linebackers, but they're going to need more. So expect the Packers to be looking at some linebackers in free agent, of course, in the draft as well. Someone early on like Peyton Wilson, Edgerrin Cooper, Junior Colson, or even Jeremiah Trotter Jr. are some options there in the, second to third round. But I appreciate you guys coming by to the video again, just keeping you updated with everything Green Bay Packers and how that correlates with the roster, free agency, and salary cap. It's all that time of year where we start to see a ton of moves. So if you want to stay up to date with Green Bay Packers, you'll find it all here on the channel. Go down and click subscribe. But I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.